So, Arsenal 1, Newcastle 0. Wow, God, that was. Yeah, I mean, this victory would have been sweet if we had a 2 or 3 point lead. Because once you have a lead over a team with equal amount of games, it's just about getting over the line at that point. But we're fighting a lot of different battles now with 4 games to go. It's now the points, and also that goal difference needs to start coming up again, because once they equal our points lead, it's 38 goal difference, 73. So yeah, the good thing is, I mean, I didn't do a preview, but my kind of onus is that this is the game where we just needed to just have that feeling of winning again, get the momentum on our side again. Although I'd have loved for us to score a bit more, and I'll get on that in a second. The most imperative thing today was to get that 3 points by crook or nail, whatever the saying is. We needed to get over the line today, and that was the important thing. And what a goal by Eze. To be fair, I kind of said when I was watching it before the first corner, I was thinking, surely Arsenal are not going to try and lump the ball into the box with Newcastle's big guys up there, because the thing is with Newcastle is that historically, especially since Eddie's been there at Newcastle, they've been a match for us in terms of physicality and in terms of just similarities. Newcastle are just all wrong for us. Like, let's just be honest. Like, their style, their physicality, they're essentially a mirror image of Arteta's Arsenal. Because this is not an Arsenal I recognised personally when I was growing up, but this Arteta's Arsenal is a very similar match to Newcastle. That's why we tend to struggle against them. Even last season, we played them towards the end, I remember. And it was the same thing with the Declan Rice goal, I think, is the one that won it. Apart from that, there wasn't really much else. The Newcastle games are always tough for heaps of different reasons. So we can't get much onto that. I was quite surprised with Newcastle's starting lineup. They did no Lewis Hall, no Livramento, no Joe Linton. Jon Wissel was on the bench. Watamada was on the bench. Elanga was on the bench. And Harvey Barnes and James Gordon. Who's their left winger? Not James Gordon. Oh my God. You know who I'm talking about? The winger that we're linked with, and we should not be going anywhere near. I forgot his name, but even he was on the pitch, so I was quite surprised just how many players that were missing. But yeah, Tonali, he's a good player, man. Honestly, the thing is, we should be all over that signing in the summer, man. He's just got that. He's got that about him. Like he's got that. He's got the ability, but he's also got the personality, and you can tell he's got that "I'm him" kind of thing. And we need those sort of players. He reminds me a lot of like. He has a lot of like Xhaka's mannerisms, which is what we need in the midfield. Someone who's not afraid to get on the ball, and who's not afraid to also pass it forward. And I think this was kind of the theme of today. Apparently the fans were loud, and they were really up for it. I wasn't at the game, so I can't tell. But yeah, the game today was much of a muchness, because we tried very hard to play our way, but the issue is that when in the back of your mind you're thinking, do not lose, this is what tends to happen, is that you try things and you're like, Noni Madueke had a chance. Oh God. And I know you guys are talking, I know you guys know exactly what chance I'm talking about. In the first half, I don't know why he decided to shoot from there. Kai Havertz goes down, Eze goes down, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. But it was an opportunity, I guess, to get the goal difference up, but also equally, it was important to get the 3 points first. You know, there's plenty of opportunities to try and up that goal difference as much as we can, because there's 4 games. 4 games is a lot of games. We've got Fulham next week. Get 6 point lead on City. and that starts to feel a little bit different. But Fulham, we have to beat Fulham, and we have to beat West Ham. Because the thing is, I actually think, what was I going to say? I actually think we can beat West Ham. I'm not sure about Fulham, but West Ham, I saw them today. They were convincing, but they lack that instinct. So let's hope that they get a result against Brentford and they can take off the brakes a little bit. But yeah, in terms of today, there wasn't really much to talk about. I was quite happy to see Lewis Kelly in the midfield. I think that was finally a good thing to see, but I guess Norgard wasn't on the bench, so Skelly had to come in. But the overall performance, yeah, struggling to build out from the front three. I thought Gyökeres done okay when he came on for Havertz. The kind of issue I had with us was what I've been saying all season. The front three struggles to build. I'm talking about when Noni was there, not when Saka was there. The front three struggles to build a lot. Like you see that front three, we struggle to create combinations, and I think Eze and Odegaard work well, but Eze and Odegaard work well if they're close by, if they're nearby proximities. If you put Eze on that left side and then you put what's his name, Odegaard on the other side, they can't do the link ups, and I think those are our two creative players. So we need them as close to each other as possible, because they can do those quick link ups. And you saw how that kind of first goal kind of came through. Was we had the link ups between those two coming through, and I saw people getting a bit annoyed with the front three. I don't actually think the front three was an issue. I think the front three was actually the best you could have picked, and I think it's the one that I probably would have picked considering everything else, because with the fact that if you're struggling to build from the back, and we haven't got someone who is confident enough to pick the ball up between the two centre backs, the other option is to either obviously go out wide, which can work, but then the likely passing options is either to follow that pass along the line, which goes to Noni, or it goes into Zubimendi. The other third option is to go long. And the issue is of going long is if you've got someone like Gyökeres, who I know he done well with holding up the ball, but 99% of the time this season he struggles. And when he does hold up the ball, he tries to slow the pace of the ball down, and he needs someone close by to pick that ball up whilst he's slowed it down. The benefit with Havertz is that if the ball does come long, he's able to control it, turn, and then pass. Gyökeres does it one or two times, but you know the point I'm making, and that's how we can build up when we do go long. Obviously Havertz went off, Gyökeres came on, and he actually worked the centre backs quite well. Dan Burn at left back, fuck. Hey, Newcastle, man. I didn't know you lot were struggling like that, to be honest. But Dan Burn at left back, I guess, helped, because he wasn't going to offer you that width going forward, which essentially made Ben White's job a lot easier. No, Hincapie's job a lot easier, because you effectively have to only worry about is it Jacob Ramsey? They had some weird. Is it Jacob Ramsey they had at left? Yeah, I think it was Jacob Ramsey. Yeah, which essentially made Hincapie's job a lot easier, because you don't have to worry about a fullback who has no intention of going forward, and a left winger who's not even a left winger, is a midfielder, but because they're so stripped of options, which is why I'm surprised he didn't go with Elanga. Maybe I guess he kind of thought, okay, if the game gets tricky, I've got the trick up my card to play with Elanga. Who else? Hincapie, I think, man of the match. Silly foul to give. We had a chance right at the end where Gyökeres is just a simple ball in between, or just in front of their centre back. I can't remember who his name was, Malik Tiao or something. And he kind of didn't make that pass stick. But apart from that, we were okay in parts. But we one shot, guys. Yes. Look, I don't know what happens, man. But look, I think you guys know where I stand with the manager. I'm not a fan of the football. I think at this point, it's just let's see what happens. I don't think you ent- I don't think it will go to a shootout. I think one of either well, I think one of us will drop points, and it's about where we drop points. And I think that's how the cookie will crumble. I don't think you go bang for bang. I doubt it. I think between now and the end of the season, we're so close towards the end. It's about who blinks first now, kind of thing. Um, Won our first game, 4 down to go. City have Everton. I think that's one of the 2 games where I'm praying they drop. Everton are a very good side. They're sort of challenging for Europe. Although they lost to West Ham, they can pick up again against City. And who else? Bournemouth. Yeah, Bournemouth. I think that's another one. If they get past Bournemouth and Everton, then yeah, it's a serious light worry for us. I think Fulham will pose another challenge for us as well. We'll just wait and see. But we need to pick up points, and we need to pick up points in maximum games. There's no if, buts, or maybes. We need to win pretty much all our games to give ourselves any bit of hope. I know City were playing in this FA Cup. I just saw their goal, Nico Gonzalez, what a finish. But yeah, good to see Saka back. I think it was great to see someone on that right wing that can actually hold up the ball consistently and not do foolishness. Martinelli does Martinelli things. He's hot and cold. Zimmermann had an okay-ish game. He won a lot of duels. He was pushing the ball forward in the first half and then kind of fell into his shell. Rice struggles when he's being pressed. There's a chance he had in the second half where he kind of made that darting run into the box with the ball and couldn't sort his feet out. So in the summer we definitely need some reinforcements in the midfield, and I don't think reinforcements in the sense that we need to buy anyone. I think he needs to finally understand who his midfield options are and stick to those. Because the big thing is this next season is if you're strict for cash in terms of spending, you do have midfield options that you can rely on. You have Skelly, who's a great option to bring on off the bench as a double pivot with Rice and himself and Odegaard. And also you got Ethan coming back on loan, who will be absolutely ludicrous to sell considering we're trying to build something, which I think Odegaard might leave, frees up the space there for Ethan and Eze to essentially be our 2 10s. Havertz, I'll be honest, he also has to leave, but I think one more season with Havertz, that's probably the likely scenario with him. But yeah, let's see how it goes. But much needed victory, and we move on to Atletico Madrid. That's not going to be easy. So yeah, hopefully we win that and keep it moving forward.